I 100% think it can be fixed, of course, but I think it's just going to take a lot of time and effort. But I really want to see her again.
Britney Spears' son Jayden, who will turn 16 on September 12th, spoke to ITV News about the current rift between Britney and her kids. Jayden hasn't seen his mom since the spring, and by his choice, he didn't go to her wedding in July, but probably saw Britney's posts on Instagram about it. Jayden is often embarrassed by what his mom posts.
It's like almost as if she has to post something on Instagram to get attention. This has gone on for years and years and years, and there's a high chance that this is never going to really stop.
In her written response on Instagram to Jayden's interview, Britney wrote, "I've tried my best at being the best person I can be. To be basically held hostage in homes under nurses and BS. I hope my kids one day understand my reasoning of my plain water revealing myself as any woman would, being held under blankets and supervision under the conservatorship. Finally at 40, without the restraints of what my family did to me." Jayden does comment on the conservatorship. Now, he doesn't have complete first-hand knowledge of the conservatorship because he was about 18 months old when it started, but it seems as though he has been taught, conditioned to understand Britney Spears' perspective, his grandfather's perspective, as he took control of all aspects of his daughter's life.
I think at first he was just trying to be like any father, like pursue her daughter's dream of like being a superstar.
Jayden's perspective on the conservatorship seems quite conservative. And I don't blame him for that, but yeah, he seems to have a very elementary surface understanding of what went on in that conservatorship.
I did think maybe the conservatorship did go for a little too long, probably why my mom was very angry.
Of course, Britney's justified anger goes well beyond the length of the conservatorship. It involves the drugs she was forced to take, the IUD put into her body, and so on.
She felt as if she was working for too long, which I personally think, yeah, she was.
Once again, Britney isn't pissed because she worked for too long. Britney wrote on Instagram, "Maybe one day we can meet face to face and talk about this openly. Maybe, dear child, you can explain to me why our family would do that to anyone." Yeah, that's what I found so troubling about Jayden's interview. And once again, I'm not blaming Jayden for having a limited or skewed perspective of what happened to Britney, but it's clear that Britney has been demonized by someone, whether it was Kevin or her father or her mother or her brother or her sister. Somebody has molded the perspective that her children have of her. I say that because I don't see how, if the kids knew all the stuff that Britney went through in this conservatorship, I don't see how they would still hold a grudge against her. I'm sure there were difficult moments, and I have a feeling those difficult moments were probably caused by the drugs in her system. But yeah, I can't see her kids still being like, "Oh, I don't want to see mom," when they knew all the stuff that she endured. So yeah, someone has skewed her children's perspective of her. I think it's really sad, and this should not be happening to Britney, and this is just not the time for it to be happening to Britney. I mean, I'm sure she's going through a lot of emotional baggage out of that conservatorship, so to have this added on, it's just a lot on Britney. I'm constantly worried about Britney. But yeah, this is really troubling what's happening with Jayden, because it's also clear that Jayden and Britney share a musical connection.
I started to get a spark back. I remember recording Glory, and for some reason I think producing and making music, I got the fire back in my eyes as I started getting more confidence just for myself.
Britney said in her 22-minute voice note that she posted on YouTube on Sunday that recording her Glory album, which her son named, by the way, was like therapy for her, and Jayden says that's what the keys are for him.
This, for me, is my therapy, basically.
Britney writes, "I say to my son Jayden that I send all the love in the world to you every day for the rest of my life. My love for my children has no boundaries. Keep playing your gift on the piano. You and your brother both are brilliant. I'm so proud to call you both mine." Oh, it's just heartbreaking. And yeah, I mean, Britney does some lashing out in her post, which is, I think, is completely understandable. But it's just a sad situation all around. Like, I hate that she's having this strained relationship with her children right now. But the glimmer of hope is that Jayden wants to see her and wants to repair the relationship. And yeah, she sparked the musical talents in him.
Well, I kind of came to realization of how famous she was and like how successful she is as a person, and that kind of inspired me.